All right, let's go over Zadig Voltaire. So these are just going to be some regular channel letters, but trimless, mounted to a 4x4 raceway that we're going to make. And they're just going to field install it. It looks like the power supply and everything is required to be inside, so that's always fun. So I'll go over what I came up with to try to keep you all happy for that. So we've got letter backers. These are just going to be welded to the front, but they're going to be regular channel letters, but we're going to go ahead and weld them to the front like we do. I have UL things laid out here for the holes. Those will get mounted directly to this raceway. We'll go over how that goes together. We have a tiny little switch box, a little different than we usually do to make it accessible and removable and all that. And 1/2 inch clear faces, just like we did with the Agua Caliente letters. These guys here, we did that with the trimless. So anyway, so we're good to go here. So like I say, you're just going to weld these up. These are your strips counts here. And you're going to mount these with those number 6 like we've done before, these screws. And you're going to just screw them in from the side. That gives us just enough lip to play with there. So that's that. And then they go on to here. The raceway is going to be turned sideways. Usually we'll build it where the face is here and we lords on the face and then the letters attached to that. But in order to have strength for this, we're going to go ahead and turn this 90 like that. So the red here is the face. The face will have all of the holes in it. And then the back will have the access points for going in. And then you're just going to lords on the top and the bottom. That's going to create the lid and the bottom there. So you'll notice that the bottom and the top is a little bit longer. So that way it gives a little bit of water shedding for the lid in the back. So the removable panels. So make sure you have face facing towards the face because these holes are justified with a little bit of lip sticking out there. So what you're going to do here is we're going to go with a hot seam. We're just going to weld this seam together, and then you're just going to weld these little pieces in here, and then go ahead and get those ready. And then you're just going to go ahead and weld, the sides in. You got your corner jigs and everything. And then once you get all of that welded together, weld in these little side seam pieces or the little middle pieces here. They go on the inside, and make sure you get your gun in there and weld these to there real good because this has to hold up the weight of everything kind of pulling on it. So make sure everything gets welded really well. And then you'll have staggered seams for the top and bottoms. And then you'll just lords on these guys really good to the tops and bottoms. And then once you have everything done, you get the sides in, you get all that done, then what you want to do is make sure that you get everything caulked up real well. So you want to caulk all the seams really well because we are bringing the primary power into this thing. So we want to make sure that there's very little leakage. We have the world's tiniest little switch box here that is going to get just screwed to the back of the raceway. So it's going to be, same as what we do, just really small. You're going to put this guy inside there, and then this will be the removable switch plate. So you're going to mount the switch to this, and then it gets screwed in from the back, and then it has a little lid that goes on the back here. So it's just the world's smallest version of our little power supply box. And then once you get this all put together, then you slide it into the raceway, and then you go ahead and frap it in from the front of the raceway or the back of the raceway, and it pokes out the back there. And then the lid will have clearance for the screws, and that'll be where the switch pokes out. So the back of the raceway has clearance for some UL holes to drain, so keep an eye out for that. They're already here. And you'll just lords the bottom and the top on, like I said, so you're good to go there. So anyway, it's just, it all goes lords together, so it's not that big a thing. And then what you're going to do is on the switch side here, you're going to move over one hole So you'll have the switch here to mess with. And then over here, you're going to take this tray and work it in here and get it inside here, and then put it in between these two supports. So you'll have a support here and you'll have a support here, these supports. And the supports will have holes that match this. So this will fit inside there, and you'll be able to make sure that you get this tacked in there real well. And then that will be a little tray that the power supply you'll be able to access and screw it directly in. And you'll also have a couple of holes here for some ground wires coming out. And then you can run your wire over to here and make your connections. Make sure everything stays a 1/2 inch off of the bottom and all of that. And then they can figure out how to plumb in their power once they get out there. So that's the only thing. It's like a little different, but like I say, make sure that little tray goes in there. Make sure you weld in this tray where the back of the tray faces the face of the sign. So that way you can have room to work from the back. So the power supply will sit inside of this thing, kind of tucked in. So yeah, so make sure like this would be the face side, like here, the red side is the face side, and then that would be the back. So the power supply can fit here and you can access it. Otherwise, yeah, it's pretty much what we do. Just make sure everything's caulked real well, and that's it. So if you have any questions, hit me up.